Funny meeting you here. Happy Wednesday, everybody. We're here for our tribe talk. And so we are live on YouTube. So let me show Instagram what they're missing and how to get in here. So just a real quick for Instagram, because the service that I pay for has not worked. Blame it on whatever. It has not worked. But for those of you who don't know me or who are meeting me for the very first time, I am LaTanya Taylor, affectionately known as the Rev Coach, the Juicy Spirit Mama, the Priestess of Purpose, Pleasure, Passion, and Profits. And I am honored to hold this space for you. This is my Marketplace Ministry Wednesday, where I come on and do a little shift talk with the tribe. So, okay, you're switching over to YouTube, Imani? Okay, cool. All right. We welcome you on 3 platforms right now. It doesn't always stay up on Facebook. So those of you who are on Facebook, this is really just to get you in the habit of joining us on YouTube. And if you want more with connection with me, please join me in the Rebirth 360 Sanctuary. Okay, Imani says I'm over here now. So I didn't get a chance to put a title on here, and I think it's too late for me to put a title on this live, but I want to talk to you about being 420 ready. I got a lot to tell you, so I want to get in here and get in. We've been talking a lot about the eclipse, but guess what, y'all? It's not over. It's not over. It's just begun, and it's favorable. So yes, it has been intense. Let me turn on the chat. I want to make sure I can see everybody. Yes, it has been intense. It is not your imagination. It has been an intense season, right? No, it's an intense season of detox, if you will, repositioning. It's like, when you are excited about a move, like any of you who've ever bought a house or moved from a new place, you're excited about the new place, but when you're packing all of the stuff in your house, you realize, I didn't realize I had this much stuff, or I didn't realize that I was living with this, that maybe something that did not function well. So you may have felt that in this season. So for those of you, 420 means a lot of things to those of us who are THC lovers, who appreciate plant medicine in any way, right? 420 means something different for all of us. But for the universal energy of 420, this season that we're getting ready to go into has some amazing news for us. How many of you drop your sun sign in the chat? Drop your sun sign in the chat. Hi, greetings, Tony. And Tammy, if you're still there. Sandra, greetings to you all. Okay, so we have drop your sun sign in the chat. I don't know what you just dropped. I can't see that, Mignon. So drop it by name. Don't do it by symbol, because if you are watching on YouTube, I'm not sure if that's what you did or not. What's your sun sign? Drop it in the chat. Okay, Gemini in the house. I should have called that out. Okay, Gemini. All right, we got Cancer, Gemini. Who else is in the room? Aquarius. Okay, we got Aquarius in the room. Scorpio in the room. Okay, that's right. Represent your tribe, because that's a tribe. The month you were born matters, right? Even if you came from traditional religion, you understand that it matters, because God don't make no mistakes, right? Libra is in the room. Okay, Libra is in the room. Okay, so listen up. Those of you who are Aquarius, you want to pay close attention. I see a Taurus in the room. You want to pay close attention. There's Sag in the room. I'll tell you, if I don't call your name, you still need to pay attention, because it's a flip for you. But the names I'm calling: Gemini, Taurus, let me see. Let me look at my notes. Gemini, Taurus, and Aries need to pay attention to what I'm about to share with you right now. So here's the thing. I know that it's already been a very intense season. I understand that. I'm living it with you, right? And our body has been experiencing this season, but so have our mind, our spiritual selves, our the layers of what we represent on an metaphysical level as well as a physical level. It's not your imagination. That's where I started. So the good news is, even though we're in a Mercury retrograde right now, this 420 begins a favorable sequence. Somebody just dropped sequence, because it's good to have sequence. When I think of sequences, sometimes I think of serendipity. The thing is, this is good news and freedom for those of you who want it. This is a freedom season, freedom from what you've been carrying and holding on to, freedom from systems, freedom from old beliefs that no longer serve you, freedom from things that you've been carrying as an obligation, freedom. Okay, Pisces is in the room. Okay, I see you. Holla. Yes, drop sequence in the chat. Drop sequence in the chat, because 420 begins a sequence all the way to 429, which is called a palindrome, or a palindrome, a palindra is what it's known as. This type of thing happens rarely. First of all, this season that we're going into, beyond the sequence, beyond the palindrome, it happens every 14 years. This particular conjunction, there's about to be a Jupiter Uranus conjunct. Okay, and so I want to explain how that's going to affect you. After all of this demand, because what this season is doing, it is demanding something from us. It's demanding something from you. Yes, sequence, Colton, sequence. This is a demanding season. It's pulling on our energy in ways that we don't even understand at times. I keep rubbing my head. Never mind that, the reach that governs my head, but honey, it's just like, honey, that's what Aries governs, is the head. Okay, so Scarface has a song, Gen X, you know it, right? My mind is playing tricks on me. You got to be careful during this season that your mind does not play tricks on you, and that you do not let your emotions even take over, because this is a demand on our habits, our responses, our business, our money, and our relationships. What kind of demand? It's demanding that we do something new. It's demanding that we respond in a new way. It's demanding that we take a look at things again with the retrograde. It's saying, no, you thought you did the work. You thought you were clear. But see, Pluto will show you every time, because it gets into the crevices of things. And we've had one event after another coming into 2024. Somebody said this season is not playing. So somebody else said, I'm paying attention. It will have your attention such that if you haven't been praying, it's time for you to pray. If you haven't been in community and you've been in isolation, come out wherever you are. Come out wherever you are. This is the time. This is the season for deeper self-care. So it is demanding. It's demanding that you ask questions of old beliefs. It's demanding that you do an old thing in a new way. It's demanding. Somebody, you got that, right? Have you been feeling the demand of this season, whether you like it or not? And it's not about you that you did anything wrong. It's not about you trying to be perfect. It's not about putting everything. Thank you, Karen, for saying hello to the tribe. It's not about you putting it on some event as not to have responsibility for your life. We are reality creators. Whether you know you are a reality creator or not, you are a reality creator. You create your own reality. And it doesn't need your permission to know this. Now, those of you with spiritual gifts, it's been a demand on your spiritual gifts, especially those of you who have been hiding. Come out, come out, come out wherever you are. Come out wherever you are. Those of you who have been in hiding with your spiritual gifts, feeling as though someone had a heaven or hell to put you in. It's time for you to come out of hiding with your spiritual gifts. Your family will probably be the last to accept the anointing that's on your life. Your family will probably be the last ones to know, or the last one. Let me say that differently. They know that there's something different about you. They probably will be the last ones to acknowledge it. But the good news about this season is Uranus gives you the energy and the wherewithal to not give up. Any Aquarius is watching? Aquarius is really, there's a certain type of Aquarius when they're healthy that really doesn't care what you think about them, because they were born to disrupt. They were born to interrupt. And even if you don't understand this, there's an interruptive energy that an Aquarius will have. You cannot tell them what to do. Life can, though. There are some very stubborn signs that you can't tell them, but life can tell them. In other words, they have to bump their head. And it could apply to anybody, because we all have our shadows and our light. But what you need to know, the good news is this Jupiter-Uranus conjunct begins on 420. What a palindrome is when you can read the letters straight across, and they read the same way the back. So what that means is you're going to get this work coming or going. You're going to get this energy coming or going. So you might as well get the energy of the good news. If you've been doing your inner work, this is the season where you will reap the benefits of the seeds that you planted. You know, the gospel song says, I got a seed in the ground and it's blessing, no longer stressing. That's what this season is. If you want it to be. That's what Uranus conjunct in Jupiter is. Both of them are planets of abundance. They're beneficent planets. And so if you have been in the mindset of poverty, lack, worry about war, worry about all of the hip hop news, or the infiltrated hip hop news and all of the exposures that are happening, if you have been concerned about that, this is your season for you to focus deeper on your own self, your own call. Let me fix this. Trying to fix this in this mirror, honey, is horrible. I mean, in this mirror. So when we talk about this is the time for you to focus on the desires of your heart, and take your time doing it, because these are slow moving planets, right? And this is happening on the 21st and the 20th and the 21st, but the actual palindrome goes all the way to the 29th, where the numbers are going to be in alignment perfectly. The numbers are going to be in alignment perfectly. You can read them the same way going and the same way backwards. But pay attention to the numbers, because we're in the 21st century. This is going to bug me, honey. This is going to bug me. So let me fix this before I go ahead and talk to you good. I ain't worried about nothing falling or anything. It just looks lopsided. Okay. We're in the 21st century, and the 21st century represents the Egyptian calendar of the truth will set you free. How many of you have been having to tell yourself a truth that maybe you needed to tell yourself, that maybe you have been avoiding, or any of the ways that we shut down, we procrastinate, we avoid, we put it off. This is the season of the truth shall set you free. The 21 then reduces into a 3. We're actually about to see a code of 21, 21, 21, which reduces to the 3. The 3 is the number of wholeness, but it's also the number of trial. It is also the number of test. Get that, understand that. 3 is the number of wholeness, mind, body, spirit, right? Conscious mind, unconscious mind, superconscious mind, right? It represents the wholeness, the triangle, but it also represents the trial or the test. When you study in, thank you, sir. Imani said, your hair looks great. Somebody else told me that on a Zoom. Your hair looks fine, Latanya. I'm working with all this gray and all that. But it reduces, when we look at this triangle, it's important to understand that there's symbology happening on the planet. The planet doesn't necessarily speak English. Everybody in the world doesn't necessarily speak English, but everybody speaks energy. Everybody speaks energy. And so when we look at this season, what you need to know, if you don't understand all of this, see, I'm talking to some of the people who actually, they can feel it and they want to make sense of it with some language. They want to understand it and put it into perspective. And you like talking about the stars. You understand that you are an astral being, that there's physical representation of the planets inside of you. Some of you are learning. Some of you are growing to understand. Be patient with yourself when you listen to information like this. Stop saying through the whole thing, I don't know what she's talking about. No. Give yourself permission, because your DNA is coded to know these spiritual things. And so when we're talking about this in layman's terms, this is a favorable season ahead. Open doors of opportunity are ahead for us spiritually and emotionally, and based off of what coming out of a retrograde, coming out of 7 planets in retrograde, where most people are saying 2023 kicked their proverbial behind. If given the recovery that people are coming out of with that, the intensity of the total eclipse has not been light on a lot of light workers, right? But this is good news in layman's term, because it's good news for those who do want to be free. Everybody doesn't. I want you to get that in your spirit. For those of you who are awakeners, those of you, an awakener energy is in the Uranus Jupiter conjunct. This is about the future, your future. In other words, this is fertile ground to plant the desires of your heart. This is about independence and freedom. And what I'm saying is that everybody doesn't want to be independent and free. There are people who even represent political parties who want to be codependent and saved. I'm sorry. They want to be saved by a political party. They want to be saved by an institution. So just like this 21 energy in the 21st century is about the truth shall set you free, it is also about saving yourself. And there are people who don't want to save themselves. Do you know people like that? Have you ever lived next to people like that? Have you ever done business with people like that? Have you ever been in a family with people like that? There are people who do not want to be independent, free, sovereign, and self-sufficient. And so all of the things that we have been codependent on is up for review. And so for those of you who have been paying attention during the review, or those of you who have been taking proactive action during the review, Those of you who have been ritualing during the review, those of you who have been in therapy during the reassessment, those of you who have been rebirthing at your altar, those of you who have been praying on your prayer rug, who have been going out in nature, those of you who have been detoxing, those of you who have been getting ready, you have been getting ready for a time and a season such as this. You have been getting ready for a time and a season such as this. And that ought to be good news to somebody today, because it's good news to me. Now, I could go into more about this depending on what your life path number is and all of that good stuff. But I want you to join me in the spaces where I do talk about these things more in depth, and I'm able to connect with you. That's one thing to do. But I still got some more for you. So Uranus governs, or I should say, Uranus is the disruptor. Uranus is the planet of surprise parties. So when we talk about a Uranus Jupiter conjunction, we're talking about it's governing your future and your future beliefs. And so that means that anybody who doesn't want to change right now, they're not going to. And this is not age sensitive. It doesn't matter whether you're 70, 60, 50, 30. There's not gonna, maybe when you're at younger, because when you're in that learning phase, that's before you hit 40. You have a lot of grace because you get a chance to redo if you're under 40. But I'm talking about people who are fixed signs. This could be challenging for you, but the good news is it doesn't have to be, because we're getting ready to go into Taurus season. Taurus season is about abundance too. So now you have two planets hanging out with the sun and the new moon forming this conjunction. And guess what? It's powerful. It's powerful, the new thing. Don't be surprised. Listen, I already got a taste of it yesterday. I have evidence. I'm excited. I'm talking all loud because I want you to hear me, because what happened yesterday for me personally, I could not have made up. I went to handle some kind of business without telling you all the business. And another opportunity came that I didn't go looking for, but it aligned with my prayers. It aligned with the things that I have been talking to at my altar and ritual. It mirrored the things I had written down. See, many of us miss opportunities to do the work, to do the healing, to expand the territory, because we're looking for it to, or we're not looking for it to come. Excuse me. We are just thinking, well, God's going to do it. God's going to fix it. But when you have a practice, when you have a ritual, what happens is when the evidence shows up, you know what it is because you already had the conversation. But many of us are not having the conversation with God. Many of us are not having the conversation with our body. Many of us are not having the conversation with our lovers. Many of us are not having the conversation at the altar. Many of us are not having the conversation. You're looking for somebody to lead you. So when they say when the student is ready, the teacher will appear, but the teacher will appear and you won't know that the teacher appears because you're too shut down, too closed off, too fixed, too busy. Some of us are so busy that we're missing the windows of opportunity that are showing up to match the prayers that we have prayed. And this energy is also hot. It has been hot under the Aries energy. So if you're already a hot head, you could be rushing. I cannot tell you how many clients I've had to tell, slow down. You're making mountains out of molehills when you are rushing to do something. What is driving you? The heat, the hotness. What's making you so hot? That not only are you burning bridges, you're burning yourself out and you're burning opportunities. So the earth moving in this Taurus season is going to cool a little bit. This Uranus Jupiter conjunction that's coming up on 420 begins a sequence of alignment. So guess what? If you've been looking for alignment, if you've been in alignment, you got to be in alignment with something. You can't just be out here floating. What are you in alignment with? What are your values? What is your goal? Because that's what align you. Because when pain pushes, vision will pull you forward. But when you are out of alignment, you'll be blaming, projecting, running, wanting somebody to come and get you, but you're not available to be found, lost and found, hiding, running, all of these things. So the portal is open. I want you to get that. The good news is the portal is open. Congratulations to the women who are in Juicy right now. You are a portal in a portal. Programming your portal, positioning yourself to prosper in love, in sex, in money. Because you positioned yourself, you got in position to prosper your feminine through feminine abundance. So this conjunction of the sun and the moon represents a new cycle, a new window of opportunity. It represents the pivot. It's time for many of us to pivot. And pivot is happening, whether you can understand why it's happening, where it's who's coordinating it, the conspiracy theory is all, if it's all true. Just because it's a conspiracy theory doesn't mean that it's not true. They make you believe that conspiracy theories is something crazy. No. And it doesn't need everybody to believe it for it to be happening. It's the same way with your life. There's something that is powerful about who you are, what you're called to do. Even if you feel like you've been struggling, you've been straining or stretched in this time, how many of you have had to lean on faith more than ever in the last 9 months, maybe since 2020? This is good news. I don't know about you, but it's good news for me, and I'm going to act like it. I'm going to dance every time I get a chance. I'm going to sing every time I get a chance. I'm going to be well loved and made love to and rejoice. I'm going to fall in love again with the tools of my spiritual court. I'm going to, why? Because it's good news. And it can't hurt me because I understand that I'm an energetic being. And so even if you just had an ounce, if you leaned on my energy for just a little bit, if you doubt it, if you still are, yeah, but, and guess what? It's going to be some people in your world that's going to say, yeah, but, It's going to be some people that say, yeah, Don't try to convince them. Let them be. Because you need all of this energy for the next conjunction. That's right, boys and girls. There's another conjunction after this one. But we'll talk about that on another Wednesday. That one is even more favorable for those for women and for feminine energy and for love and for sex and for money, all the things that rebirth represents. It's a good news. It's also time for us to trust. Lean not into our own understanding, but acknowledge. When we say him, I want you to give him an acronym that's not just about a God in the sky sitting high looking low. Give him an acronym for it to mean something personal to you. Give HIM an acronym for you. So that you can call on the presence of the divine from within you. So I want to call on the presence of the divine to tell you that the fab factor is open. Listen, if you've been sitting on the fence about whether it's time to reset, refresh, and get juicy, baby, this is juicy season. This is the time to get juicy and overflow. It is open for enrollment. It is self-paced, and we have a closing ceremony and the check-in date. It is absolutely easy. It's easy. And kudos to the sisters. Give a salute to the sisters who went before you and who prepared the way. Dr. Afi says the attempting to convince is actually a decoy. It's the enemy's way of getting you distracted and focused on the wrong things. Yes, Dr. Afi. Absolutely. As the old people say down south, baby, some of y'all don't believe fat meat is greasy. But when you get ready to check your cholesterol, you'll find out. So listen, I just came in to tell you it's good news. There's some scriptures that talk about travailing in the spirit. And I believe that many of us who are sensitives, who are empaths, who are open to spiritual awakening have been travailing in the spirit, because you're pregnant with something, and to travail is to labor with it, right? You can't see me fully. I'm showing you to labor with something. You're holding something and you're laboring with it, right? And many of us have been travailing in the spirit, and it's manifestation season. Listen, this is good news for those of you who are Taurus, Gemini, Aries, Aquarius. And yes, it is good news for Sagittarius, by the way. Sorry, I almost left y'all out of this because Jupiter is sitting conjunct with Uranus. But both of them are about humanity. So don't be surprised at what the announcements that are coming. The announcements are going to keep coming until you see liberation for people who have been oppressed. We are in that season. There's no turning back now. Can't turn around. We've come this far by faith. Can't turn around. Won't look back. You understand? This is the time. This is the season that we're going to see. We already see that Zimbabwe has backed their cryptocurrency by gold. That's a sign. Silver and gold is the real money. You're going to see other countries announcing that they're backing their currency by silver and gold. Follow the money. But remember, you are the money. My own natural energy yield. I'm the money. My own natural energy yield. My own natural energy yield. I am the money. But follow the money, because that gold and that silver is also in your body. But I am inviting you to, the link is in my bio. I want you all who have been on the fence, those of you, even if you're Juicy alumni, to get into this 7-day reset. This is perfect timing to refresh, to reset, to reprogram, to reposition yourself to prosper and get to live in your overflow. It's open. It's going to be open for you to come in. I say, get on in there. Get on in there. Get signed up. Anybody who enrolls today, I will offer a free inner voice reading, a miniature inner voice reading, a laser session. Anybody who enrolls in the Fab Factor today, somebody put today in the chat for me. Today, Fab. Who gets Fab today? Anybody who enrolls in Fab today. The link is in my bio. The Fab Factor, the 7-day Get Juicy Reset. Juicy is a formula. It is not just a feel good. You can feel good, but it's a formula. It is a formula. The feminine abundance is a formula. Feminine abundance is a formula. I want you to get that, because you were born with a formula. And so even if you don't want to do juicy, you can consider getting your blueprint reading or a frequency reading. The pathway to do that is the link in my bio, and join this. You can join me and get a reading to understand how this is hitting your chart, especially for those of you who are love addicted, those of you who are seeking love, you and especially those of you who are saying that you want to live a softer life. I was reading somebody the other day, and they literally had so many masculine planets in their chart that they would have to enter into a course. And this is not unusual for us. As ancient people, we always had rites of passage. As ancient people, we always went through processes to call about what we want to enhance and to advance. Say that with me. Yep. And enhance and advance. But for us, we've been so westernized to think that, to have to do it this way, that somehow something has to be wrong. Nothing has to be wrong for you to want to expand your territory. So the conjunction is coming. It starts on 420. And shout out to the rest of my 420 crew who are THC lovers, and you're not ashamed of it, or any people who practice any forms of plant medicine, from ayahuasca to the mushroom, to the peyote, to all of the different plant medicines that have been demonized. 420 is a special day all over the country. And this is a good day to pair any of your plant medicine practices with spiritual practices. Give it a real purpose and not do it as an escape. Do these things to enter into the sacred spaces that are available. So I think I need to go get some water, because I'm talking and rushing a little bit to close out. But I really am excited about what's coming. This is for those of you who understand who you are. This is a good time. This is a good time to have a good time. Don't you need a little play? Don't you need a little pleasure? Pleasure is medicine. And I leave you with that. Remember, if you don't remember anything else or need to be reminded, pleasure is medicine. It is a portal that opens you to more portals of the desires of your heart and how to come to get into alignment with them. So yes, I was excited today, and I'm excited to be excited because I am celebrating the life of peace and blessings upon the life of my Uncle Charles Moore. And I'm looking forward to this season to be lighter. There's been so much loss, so much grief, so much stretching. And my perimenopause crew, hang in there, boo. I'm going to announce something really soon. Make sure you are on my list so that you can get the announcement to be a part of the Shift Talk and the perimenopause panel that we are going to have. Okay. Oh, Jeannie said my reading ain't no joke. Okay. My readings are good. I just had an elder who said, "Oh, can you recommend me to her?" I said, "Yep, me." And she said, "Okay, I don't know if I want you to see all my business." So thank you for sending those blessings to my Uncle Charles and my family and my cousins in Washington, D.C. and all over the country who are getting ready to travel. And so, yes, this is definitely a big tree has fallen in my family, and we feel it. And I pray for your family as well. We need to hold on to our families. And there are so many, you all are waiting for the person older than you to do it. I'm here to tell you, I don't care if you are a Gen Zer, if you have been given the charge from the ancestors to be the voice that brings your family together, to be the researcher, to do the genealogy, you are the one. You are the one that you have been praying for. And it's nothing wrong with that. So I love you, and there's nothing you can do about it. I look forward to connecting with you all on the other side. Have a good day. All right. See you in Fab. Get juicy. See you later, y'all.